I'm here today to help you walk through Study Guide 3 for Exam 3, our exam over truth tables and Venn diagrams. And I want to make sure everybody's on the same page, on the right page to get this done and to do well on it. It's a big portion of our student learning outcomes. It's a big portion of the technical part of the class and why a lot of you are actually in the class. So I want you to do well on this part so you can go on and do well in your other classes. Like the other study guides, I give you a list of things that are going to be on the test. Okay, if it's not on here, it's not on the test, so be careful with what you're doing. What I want you to think about on this one is I've given you the 20 pieces that are on the matching, so you don't have to worry about extra stuff. Your short answers are all there. We've added logic and inference, which were actually matching vocabulary on exam 1, but they're going to be big words now. And then the big deal is, can you use these formats that we've been going over the last month to actually evaluate arguments, okay? And so what we're going to do in the beginning here is we're going to have to be able to use the truth tables. I hope you made those little cheat cards I suggested, so you have an easy reference for what an A statement looks like or what a conjunction looks like on a truth table, okay? If you didn't, it's not too late to go back and do those. Make sure you have kind of easy references. Tabs work in your book, but there's a lot of pages for those to kind of show up on. So get your stuff put together. So I want to walk through a couple of things. The application part on this test is a little more technical because these chapters are a little more technical. There's a right way and a wrong way to do these things, and so you have to kind of follow the rules. And so the first thing, make sure when you're walking through your truth tables, both of the ones that are on the test are 3 variable truth tables. So you're going to need your 8 rows, and I have a box, like an Excel box set up there for you. You may not need all the columns, but you will need all the rows, okay, so keep that in mind. Always make sure at the end you say whether it's valid or invalid based on what you got, okay? When you're translating, make sure that you look at things as there are only 3 variables, okay? It may look like there are 7, but I'm not going to do that to you, okay? 3 variables is all we've done in class. 3 variables is all you're going to do on the test, okay? So keep that in mind. The other part is on the Venn diagrams, make sure you always say valid or invalid. That's 2 points on each one, so that can pop things down. On the Venn diagrams, you're going to do a couple of things with them. I'm going to ask you to translate a single sentence, and I'm going to ask you to translate a syllogism, okay, and put that on the 3. The other thing I'm going to have you do with the Venn diagrams is the equivalent or not. And you're going to need to draw a set, so 2 bubble sets, label them always, and then put whatever those sentences are on those bubbles, okay, like we did in 7.5. Excuse me. Make sure that you have 2 bubbles. You can't tell equivalence in this manner without both bubbles, both sets of bubbles, okay? So keep that in mind as you're looking through the test, as you're looking through pieces. And then, remember something. And then remember also, when we're looking at the square of opposition, don't just tell me that the second sentence is true, okay? Show me either through the steps that you have to walk through with the contraries and the contradictories and the subcontraries, or just draw it on the square. Either way works, okay? And on the categorical equivalent, remember, you can tell me whether the statement that you're making, the obversion, the conversion, the contraposition, is going to be equivalent or not based on the kind of sentence you have. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do your best with the non-P and not P and all of that. I know it's one little set. It's not a big deal. Make sure that you walk through what you're going to do on those. Okay, now this test, because Blackboard doesn't really like Venn diagrams, and it's not all that happy with truth tables either, it's a paper test only. Okay, so you have 2 choices with this. You can either print it out, fill it out, and then take pictures and send it back to me, or you can just download it, fill it all in electronically. Those of you who have figured out how to use Venn diagrams and such on the computer, you can do it that way as well. You can also drop them off. In this case, I will take them on Monday morning after that Sunday night deadline. Okay, I'll make sure that the pink folder is outside the office in one of the little bins, and you can just pop things in there. Don't slide it under the door. Maintenance does, I mean not maintenance, housekeeping can do some interesting things with papers and things that way. So I will take them hard copy that way. You have a copy of the test on Blackboard in the week that we're doing this, and you'll be fine with that. The other thing I want to show you is you have 2 sets of prep, okay, so practice work for this exam. One is our normal kind of stuff where you're going to look at the integrated questions, integrated exercises for Chapter 7, okay. Let's see if I can give you a page number real quick here. Okay, so this is on page 263, okay, page 263 for the integrated exercises, and that's practice A. Okay, so you have to do those 6 exercises. 3 of them are truth tables, 3 of them are Venn diagrams. Okay, so I'll give you one less set of questions there. And then the 3B, the other set is printed on your study guide. And basically, it's the square of opposition and the categorical equivalence. Okay, the 4th edition did not have, the 4th edition of our book did not have square of opposition and categorical equivalence, and he did not change the exercise set at the end of the book, at the end of the chapter. So I'm adding in 3 pieces there for you to do to make sure everybody's on the right page. Please make sure you're doing these before you sit down and do the test. That may sound like something you didn't need to hear, but every semester, every test, I have folks who just fly through the test, don't do very well, and then give me the homework back. Do things in order. That's why they're listed in a particular order on your homework sheet. That's just how it's best to do. Now, if you know you need to do the exercises before you do your reading logs rather, that's on you. But please do the study guide before you actually do the test. Okay? And as always, if you need an extension, let me know. Okay, that's just how we work. So study guide 3 is not hard, but there are a few extra steps on there to prepare you for the actual test. Okay, and as always, if you have questions or you run into problems, email me. We can talk, we can Skype, we can meet at the Academic Skills Center. There is a good tutor over in the Academic Skills Center, so you can do that as well. Remember, you have free tutoring available over there, so take advantage of it if you need it. Okay? Again, have a great day. I hope the test goes well for you. Do your best. Take a deep breath. Kind of work on with that. Okay? So, happy day.